Hey, good afternoon, guys. This is Justin Harrell here. Just wanted to give you guys an update after my friends left. First and foremost, I got the motor finally sitting in this rig. Literally took us only about 15 minutes to get this thing set in here. Everything's kind of sitting there mocked up. Everything looks pretty good. Unfortunately, I'm looking at maybe we might have to change out the valve covers for a shorter valve cover. I really tried hard to keep these on here, but it's not looking like it's going to work. Number one, it's just throwing off the geometry of everything because they're good, probably 2-3 inches taller than what the shorties are. Kind of hard to see down there, but I think we're going to just get some Ford racing ones, put them on there, and then that way we can fix this other problem that we've seemed to have had, and that's with the fuel rail kit. This fuel rail kit, let me just start off by saying, is the biggest piece of crap that I've ever bought as far as aftermarket parts goes. I mean, this thing is just a piece of junk. As you can kind of see here, maybe you can't really see it, but if you can kind of see there where the intake manifold is, that gray area, you see a little circle there. That's where the bracket is supposed to connect. As you can see, these two holes up here, they don't connect there at all. So, in the description, it clearly states that this is supposed to fit a Ford EFI, which I bought this online from eBay, which I'm not going to name who I bought it from, but I'll be glad to give you the part number. But a couple different things here. First and foremost, the O-rings on this thing were complete garbage. They tore as soon as I tried to put the fuel pressure regulator on it. And then in the description, it didn't say anything about using an SN94 to 95 fuel pressure regulator, which this is not. So another thing is here too, is the threads are so bad on this that it will not thread all the way to the fuel rail. So it leaves a huge gap all the way out here. But the biggest problem is whenever you connect this other side here and you try to seat the distributor doesn't fit. So huge aggravation out there. For any of you aftermarket guys out there that are using this thing, this is a Pro Fuel Delivery System. Part number is let's see if it'll adjust there, PCE 137.1009. They sell these things all over eBay. I'm going to show you the kit right there with that, and kind of keep the name out so I don't get in trouble. But what a piece of garbage. So we're working with the guy to return it. I already returned one just because it was the wrong kit, and then we ordered this one and it's just garbage. So he's probably not going to let me return it, but that's perfectly fine. I bought this on my credit card, and we'll be back charging it if he chooses not to return my money, because not as described at all whatsoever. So we did get the headers on, or at least got one side of the headers on. I don't know if you can kind of see it. Let's see here. Maybe you can kind of see it right there. That's a better view of it. Got the headers on it. Everything's pretty much tied up. We're gotta go get some clips for the radiator hoses, do some trimming here to fix this clearance problem. So just minor stuff here, get transmission lines hooked up. Another little problem we ran into, looks like we're gonna have to run E-fans on this. This radiator is a lot thicker than the OEM one, so it's so thick that it comes within probably maybe a centimeter of hitting the front drive accessories, which creates a problem. The best way we're gonna do getting around that is just leave it off for right now, get the truck running, and we'll probably put some Ford Taurus fans on it or something like that from the junkyard. Not a big issue. Other thing is we're learning about aftermarket parts. Is whenever you don't put something back together, back to stock, there's always issues. So with this one, the side of the headers, you can see we're kind of about 1/2 inch off, and that's because the header is actually hitting the frame rail down there at the bottom. So I mean, that's a pretty easy fix. Just take a little bit of a C-notch out of the frame rail, and then we're going to take a gas torch, heat up the header, and just bang it in, which might take a couple hours, but shouldn't be bad other than that. Just kind of got the intake manifold sitting up there, hanging out, making sure there's no other clearance issues. Intake manifold will come back out once we get this issue sorted with the fuel rail. I'll go ahead and bolt that down, and we'll be pretty close to getting this thing fired up. What we're going to end up doing, another important thing is why we keep all the stock parts. The stock fuel rail is going to go back on it because it'll actually fit with the Ford racing valve covers that we're going to issue. And what I'll end up doing with these, I'll end up just selling them on eBay or put them on Letgo or something like that. And someone like myself will probably come get them, or hey, maybe I can use them on the next project. So a lot of stuff completed. Let me show you guys something else over here too. You can kind of see it here. Changing out that U-joint obviously, but my buddy Ryan came over here with his spray painting skills and got everything painted up here for the underside. So that's taken care of. So all in all, got a lot of stuff done. Another thing that we went and checked out is the battery. And guys, if you go out and you're looking for a cheap battery, don't go to AutoZone, Advanced, O'Reilly's, any of those guys. I suggest getting on Google, doing a Google search, and trying to find either like a blend battery place or someone that deals them wholesale. There's a couple of them here in Harrisburg. We were able to find a battery with a 6-month warranty, which is like a refurb battery, for about 50 bucks. And then we found one that had the 1-year warranty for, I think it was $65. And then, you know, of course, an interstate battery, which is about $135, which I highly recommend interstate batteries. I think they're awesome. So you get a couple different options there, because I mean, if you're going over here to Advanced Auto or AutoZone, you will spend 120 to 140 bucks on a battery regardless. It is just nice to have some options. If you have a car that you're just trying to sell to get rid of and the battery's bad in it, go up there and get your refurb battery for about 45 bucks and let it ride with that. In this instance with this truck, probably not going to do that. Probably going to do something middle of the line. All batteries are just not nearly as good as they used to be. Maybe with the exception of those interstate batteries. We've had pretty good luck with those. So here in the next, once we get this fuel rail issue sorted out, we'll go up there and grab one of those and get this thing all sorted up and get it ready to get fired up. One of the other things we decided to do with the transmission too, I'm going to tilt this thing up, put it on its end, and pull the pan on it and see if we got a bunch of stuff in the pan. If we don't, I may just set it back up in there and enough to where we can get the starter on it and turn it over and get it fired up, and then we can kind of see where we're going to go from there, if we're going to go ahead and pull it, rebuild it, or let it ride until it blows up again. Because the splines are still twisted on this, but at the same time, I'm kind of eager to hear it run, so I'll keep you guys posted. But other than that, it's just a recap of the stuff that we got done. So we're pretty far along here. Got everything tied up, just a few odds and ends. Wiring harness is plugged in. Unfortunately, probably changing out valve covers, but you know, it'll be a lot easier because it's designed to fit that stock fuel rail. And I'm just tired of fighting this aftermarket stuff, and just one less thing to worry about. But other than that, that's all I got. Like, subscribe. Thank you.